What's up, guys? Happy Friday. And today I'm going to be interviewing my client, Amna. She has been working with me for the past 6 months, I believe, and she's been killing the game. She is an amazing person. Amazing. She's a mom of two, busy, career driven, professional, all of the things. And she's going to be joining me here live to basically go over her experience so far, her progress so far, and how we were able to achieve the results that she got. And yeah, without restrictions, still enjoying her social life because she's very social in her circle. So that was something that was really important for her. But I'll let her do the talk. I'm just here to show get you guys to know her a little bit better. And yeah, let us know here if you're watching this live. Just comment below live, or if you're watching the replay of this live. And also, where are you from? Let us know. Today, I'm here in Toronto, as you guys know. Beautiful day. The weather is warming up, which is nice. So tell me where you're from and how is the weather there today. In the meantime, I'm going to do the technical stuff behind the scenes to and share this. Like, you see the little like airplane thing on the bottom right side here on the screen. Just share this live with a friend. Hi, there she
Hello.
is.
I'm trying to find a good angle. This is
Same here, because whenever we do like the split screen, it kind of messes things up. So I'm like, okay, there you go.
I look wider.
You know what? Like, if you can use like the window as a sort of light directly to you. But I don't know if you have to be able to do
I was
that.
like, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna. My husband's like, oh, but do your hair like this. I was like, you know what? They're gonna get this version of me because it's just me.
It's the real version.
Yeah, it's the real version.
It's you. Lunchtime Friday. So
Absolutely. I just got off of like it's like my fourth conference call for the day, and I was like, it's a Fridays. Just come on. I don't want to be on calls today.
Goodness, so I can only imagine how you're
Yeah.
feeling right now.
I know.
Okay, let's chill for a little bit. Like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so if you want to grab a glass of wine.
Right. I got my coffee. I was like, believe it or not, Andrea, before I used to have a glass of wine. I'm like, okay, it's Friday. And I'm like, where's my coffee? It was like, I have bottles of wine back here, and my husband's like, why do you even have these now? He's like, you've had these, and for the last 6 months, you haven't even opened one up. I'm like, it's Andrea's fault, not my fault.
So I'm giving you permission publicly. Here's your permission slip.
So, but yeah, it is 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yes. Exactly. All right. So this should be fun. I'm trying to keep these under 30 minutes just to be respectful of everyone's time. But let's see where that will take us, because we can talk a lot. So, so let's start off by tell people, who are you? A little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living? If you're a mom, if you're married, what do you like to do? Where you are in the world? All of that.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Amna. I live out in Ashburn, Virginia. I have a 5-year-old son, and I have a husband that I've been married to now for 11 years. So, yeah, I come from a small family that got married into a very big family. um, Background, I am Indian. And I've been in the United States since I was in 4th grade, so I've been here for a while. But very cultured, very much into the Indian culture, which is why I think when you were introducing me, Andrea, I do a lot of social activities just because our family is so big, and how everything's done in our family and our culture is big, always big, and everything's a celebration.
Can totally relate to that. My family is not there, but being like born in Brazil, like there's lots of similarities.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I didn't know that you were born there though. I thought you were
Yeah.
born in the States.
No, yep, I was born in India and then I came to the US in fourth grade. So I've been here, I mean, yeah,
Your
now
whole
what 20 I've been here 10, 26 years, yeah, because I'm gonna be 36 this year.
yeah, yeah, awesome. And what do you do for work?
I am a consultant. I so in IT, and I manage. I mean, easily put, I work as a project manager, and I have teams that I manage. So I sit on my butt all day, and I am on lots and lots of conference calls all day
I
long.
can tell by your Friday because usually by Friday things are slowing down. So
Yeah,
that
yeah, I know.
slow down Friday. Oh my God. So very stressful, like high demanding career, I want to say.
Y- Yeah, I think we're all just living in that time right now that you wanna do your best at what you have, just because times are so uncertain, and if there's any form of stability, you do what you need stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, tell me a bit about how, like, back into the program when before you joined the program, before we started working together, how did life look like at that point, physically, mentally, emotionally? Where were you at before we started working together?
Before we start, high stress. I mean, high stress in every way. I think for me, my journey through motherhood has been a lot of ups and downs. And it was where I was not self-focused at all. I was not my priority. So, it showed physically, it showed. Um, as much as, support I've had throughout, when it comes to just my husband or just my immediate family and them supporting how I am, what I look like, what I was before to what I was prior to this program starting. I just knew on the inside, I was like, it doesn't feel like me anymore. I felt I constantly had aches and pains. I was very slow with my day to day, much more fatigue, and I think a lot of it, I gave a lot of self love to myself through my changes, but I think at some point, right before I hopped on and started working with you, I was just at a point of like, oh, I'm over this feeling. Like it doesn't feel good anymore. Everything feels very um, just stand still and just looking at myself. I was like, okay, I love you, but I know you can be a better version of you. There's more to you than just this.
Mhm, mhm. And what inspired you at that point, or what was the aha moment for you that said, you know what, I'm gonna ask for help, and
I
I'm gonna
think
ask for Andrea's help specifically.
Um, well, one, I have, you I got introduced to you through Tanya, who's part of your program too, and she's like a sister to me. Just seeing how dedicated she was and how much she was enjoying the process and understanding what it's like to be inside of this program, per se, it was very intriguing because I've had trainers before. Prior to becoming a mom, I was physically very active. Um, and so for me, it was something that I was already very acclimated to, but I dropped off. It just wasn't a priority because my child was my priority and just family was priority.
Mhm.
Um, and so for me, like the first thing was getting that introduction, indirectly through Tanya and understanding like how you work and how you do things. And then seeing how she was really still able to live life and do as she needs to continue through her day to day. So I started talking to her more. I got more information from her, but then at the same time, I worked with a naturopathic physician on the side,
Yeah, I remember.
who, he ran very, very thorough blood tests, and all my reports that were coming back were just showing my cortisol levels crazy high, my insulin levels crazy high, and it was more so like, and I knew why because I mean I'm eating whatever's in front of me. I don't have bad eating habits, but it's more so like, okay, it's there, okay, I can eat it, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was just continuously gaining weight. I wasn't overeating, so I was confused as to why I'm gaining the weight. whereas I should be more standstill and more maintaining, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and so I think it was literally one day just where I was like, I'm just gonna message you because it just feels like the time is right, and I'm just fed up of just this constant nagging feeling of you can be better, you can be better.
Mhm.
Um, and I messaged you, and I think like one of the biggest things that really, really got me wanting to work with you even more and on the spot, yeah, Andrea, let's do this, is um, you have a spiritual twist to you. Like you look at things very differently. It's not just about eating healthy. It's not just about getting those results. It's about accepting a person for who they are, but then also accepting life for what it is. And you got that right off the bat when I was talking to you. A lot of my journey, my hardship has been more on being a first time mom and my child going through what he did. And my postpartum was very, very difficult. I had a microdiscectomy. So I was very unable to move around. And so my weight gain was just constant. It just wasn't, people couldn't notice. So the fact that like when I brought those things up to you, you could understand and you could even just talk to me about it made me initially just be like, okay, there's a connection, something she understands, something that others aren't understanding.
Mhm. Appreciate that a lot.
No, absolutely.
And what were you struggling when it comes to your health, fitness, nutrition, workouts, everything at that time? What was your biggest struggle at that point?
Biggest struggle was just accountability.
Hmm.
That was accountability is number one, where I just knew like I'm doing it on my own terms and conditions, and no one's really like, what are you doing? That well, last week you did this, and just because of you making these changes, you just digress instead of progressing. Because I have all the support around me. My day-to-day support is my husband, who's just like, you look great. What are you talking about? No, he's always supported me throughout it. Through the good and the bad and the small and the big, that kind of a thing. Um, so I think like at that point, I just needed someone to one be like, this is what I need you to do. Like if you're willing to do it, I will help you through it and I will get you the results that you need. So like someone, but hey, Amna, you're gonna have to make sure you do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So that accountability wasn't there. That direction wasn't there.
Hmm.
Um, and with life and its ups and downs, it was very, very difficult to just be stable in any way and have a routine. Um, I think like once you're the phase in your life when you're not a parent, everything you feel like you can control. And the minute you become a parent, you're like, my time is not my time. My schedule is not my schedule. It has to be based off of how my child is
Yeah.
doing, if my child slept that night or not. And all of that would always turn into me not focusing on myself and me just being like, all right, well, it is what it is. Okay, just keep
Hmm.
going.
Hmm. So you were struggling with having that accountability, but also having a plan that would accommodate the life that you were
Yeah,
that like the life you have right
yeah.
now, right?
A plan that's like
Adapt.
adaptable, a plan that you can accommodate to because, hey, this last week, was a shit
Yeah.
week. Sorry for my
Yeah.
language.
That,
And you know what? I overate and I did all these things and my stress was like this. My stress was like, but it's like, I didn't know how to make up for what I lost, if that makes
right.
sense.
Right. And how to manage all the ups and downs.
Hmm.
And how how is it right now? Like we're a few months down the road. You signed up for what, a year
Hmm.
right off the bat, so super action taker here.
Yeah.
But what kind of results did you get so far? Like how are you feeling right now? How is life right now compared to before we
Oh my
started
God.
together?
It's so funny because I feel like I'm not even halfway through the journey. And I feel like, oh, I've achieved everything. And I think a lot of it is just like that feeling. I had lost sight of that feeling because it's been so long since I felt that. It's been so long since I've been able to actually see changes in my body. The only changes that I was seeing was I, positive changes in my body. The only thing I was seeing was like, okay, this constant weight gain. And I'm like, where's this weight gain coming from? But like it, since the time I signed up with you in September. At that time, my back wasn't doing well. So I really wasn't able to physically do
Yeah.
anything till I think November.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
so we were focusing more on like, okay, let's change eating habits. We took it step by step just because of me not being mobile at that
Yeah.
time as much. Um, and so I really, from November to now, like the physical changes have been ridiculous. Like, um, just in terms of how my physique is shaping out, what it's looking like. I didn't even think that was there underneath everything else. Um, my confidence in terms of what I wear, how I dress, how I just perceive myself and what I'm putting out is a complete 180. And I'm just like, whoa, I'm not even halfway through. This is just something else. Um, and I think through the process, like I've been able to reconnect with myself and what I'm able to do, and just to what extent I can push myself, you know, because I have changed so much. My body's changed so much. There were so many unknowns to me. Like I just felt like I couldn't do the things that I used to before, whether it's working out, whether it's, just focusing on myself. So I think like working with you, I've been able to have that day to day where I know I need to go into an app and I need to put in my weight and what is Andrea gonna think? And like have that like thought process of, hey, at the end of the week, there's someone who's gonna be looking at the progress you've made and that feedback. What do you really want to hear in that feedback?
Just for the record, I'm not as bad.
No, it's a good thing. It's motivating. You've motivated me to take it up a few notches that I felt like I couldn't do because of time, because of whatever the excuse may be. Oh, family gatherings, oh, this party or that party. Um, you've made me more cognizant of the choices that I make, the foods that I eat, where I go and eat. Since I've started working with you, I feel like I haven't had to sacrifice a bit of my lifestyle. Like I've had to
Adapt.
I've had to make time for myself, which is something I needed.
Yeah.
I've been able to eat everything. I've been able to drink everything. I've taken nothing out of my diet. And it's an amazing feeling because the trainers that I've worked with before, prior to becoming a mom, it's like, oh, no carbs or no this or no that. And you're just like, but I like that's part of my day to day. Some things just make you happy. I'm a foodie. I love food. So when I get told I can't eat something, I'm like, oh no. But so I feel like at this point, I don't even know how to put into words how amazing I feel. My aches and pains aren't there. My body doesn't hurt as much as it used to. When I walk, I'm not like out of breath. I can go up and down the stairs. I run with my son now. Like working with you, my back has gotten stronger and stronger because we took it so slow and we started building it back up. Where like my son is like, okay, come do this with me, mama, and I can run around. And I'm like, nothing's hurting. I can actually
Awesome.
do these things now, which is an amazing feeling.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I think you've made like working with you I've become much more cognizant of my own abilities and have become more accepting to self-care that I had lost sight of.
Yeah. And just for the record, you are super, like, we give you what to do and you do it, right? And you've been able to not miss out on social life, and you've been able to drink and eat whatever because you're also very good at creating that structure first,
Yeah.
right?
And I think one
Plan
thing that
meals ahead, you look at stuff ahead of time. So you're also putting in the work beforehand so you can enjoy those things, and you in a way that's somewhat controlled, but while you're in it, you've already planned for
yeah,
it.
And that's something I learned from you as well. It's like, okay, you know that like there's a give and take.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
you want results, like there's a give and take. And the reality is, if for any as a human being, if you just keep giving, at some point you're going to just be like, nah, I'm done with this, right?
Yeah.
So I think like working with you, the way you've set up the plans, and like just like for me in particular, it's like there's so much give and take. Like, and the best part is, it's like if there's a point where I'm stuck, you're available right then and there to be like, no, I'm not okay, do this, and it's okay, carry on, you
Yeah.
know? And I fell off, like I've made my mistakes. And that's the thing. I think one of the biggest things that stuck with me is, and we talked about this when I first signed up, is like thrive for consistency and not perfection. You know, because when you're consistent, that's when the results show up. When you're trying to be perfect, which is what I thought you have to
Yeah.
be, you know, in the last few years, what I lost sight of was like consistency is really what matters. Making those choices every single day, and, you know, getting, you know, to a point of being 1% better every day is really what's going to get you those results. Because if I was to sit here and just try to be perfect, I mean, I'd give myself a week maybe and be like, oh, no, this is boring. I can't do this.
Yeah. You perfect for a week and then you fall off the rest of
Yeah. And so it's like I have my girls' nights out during the holidays. You know, I put together something for like all the girls in our family, and we drank, we ate, and all I did was I accommodated
Yep.
for my carbs and my calories, you know, earlier in the day. I was like, hey, let's go light during the day because nighttime's gonna be, you know, like this or like that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I've been to every party. I haven't said no to anything pretty much since I've started with you.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
So, yeah, and I didn't think it's possible. I found this like new love for myself and just the process and this journey all over again, which I really, really lost sight of. So it just how you there's a good balance. There's like a really good balance in how you lay things out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why you know, created the program and lay things out in a way that's specifically towards career driven women over 30,
Yeah.
because I understand that our lifestyle now is not the same as in our early 20s.
Yeah.
We don't have the same amount of time. We now like have way more responsibilities. Like our lives now is still totally different than in
I
early.
tell everybody, it's like the minute you turn 30, there's a switch that flips on, and you're like, what just happened?
Yes, so much happens, and the lifestyle that changes. Like you're not, you know, you're not going to be able to accommodate and be following the same plan that
Yeah,
you would if you had
yeah,
all
and your
the time in
body just
the
changes.
world. Yeah,
Yeah, I think your body just changes, which is like, I think for me, it's been so easy because like when we do our weekly check-ins, and I'm like, hey, Andrea, like I've been like through my check-ins, I'm very honest because I'm like, she's gonna know. She's gonna know because she's like, you're following me week by week, you're following me day by day. And so anytime that I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I can, you know, this might not be important. I'm like, no, 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 no. She's gonna know when she sees your pictures that, Amna, there's something you're not telling me. Um, but it helps so much being so thorough and cut clean in my check-ins with you, because you change it around the following week to help me make up for what I lost the week before. And so on a day-to-day basis, for whether it's any woman or whether it's any, you know, man, male or female, like our day-to-days are so busy. And so you don't have the time to sit there and be like, well, what do I need to change? What do I need to do to, you know, get to the next place that I need to go?
yeah,
And having you there for that guidance because of your experience, it makes it so easy. I'll wake up on Monday morning and be like, oh, this changed. She has new workouts for me. Okay, new plan, let's go. And then I see those results that week.
yeah. That's amazing. And did you have? Because I know you came from Tanya. So it might be a bit different, but did you have any hesitations or anything that you were skeptical about before making the jump and signing up?
Um, I definitely was. I was skeptical of my own commitment.
Mm.
I was skeptical of time. because I think one of the biggest things I was skeptical about is having a virtual trainer. I think that's something that's very new to a lot of people.
Yeah.
For me, you're my first. And prior to you, I've worked with other trainers and they were always, face to face. So I knew what that interaction
Yeah.
is like. And like virtually, it was like, well, how will this work? Like, how will I get what I need? Because you can't see my form, especially because I have bad back and I have disc
Yeah.
herniations. So I'm very always like, oh, can I do this? Can I not? Will I be okay? Um, and I was just like, and you can't physically see me. We don't, that interaction is not. I was like, it's not going to be as personal as like all the other times have been, but it's been the complete opposite with you actually. So like I think the like for me, the thing that I was the most skeptical about is actually in return, it's been the best that thing that's come out of this, where I'm like, on the spot, you'll respond to any questions. Every week, I'm getting a check-in where I'm getting just like when it comes to knowledge, nutritional knowledge, whether it's knowledge about just like workouts, all those guides that you have, I'm like, whoa, this is actually so much better than what I've ever received from anyone that I've worked with face to face. Over here at the gyms like that I've been to, and when I've had trainers, it's like, oh, okay, 30-minute session, and in those 30 minutes, whatever you can get done, you get done, and then that's it, and then you go in for the next 30-minute
Yeah.
session. And, there's never been any assistance when it comes to nutrition. There's never been any changes week to week, or even an understanding of, well, we're doing these workouts, this is why, or this phase, or from this month to this month, this is what we're focusing on. And you can provide that knowledge.
Mhm.
So it's like, it's so much more personal with you than it's been with anyone face to face for me.
And that's funny that you say that, because that's exactly what I usually tell people. Because the trainer, like, not to bash the in-person trainers, there's a time and place for an in-person trainer, of
Yeah.
course. But in terms of achieving the results, like, we created a system that gives you the blueprint for everything that you
Yeah.
need to achieve a certain result. We're not just there to make you sweat or
Yeah.
to feel sore the next day, or within just 30 minutes or 1 hour of interaction and then goodbye. What are you doing
Yeah.
with 23 hours of the day, right?
Absolutely. I feel like the way you've set up things, I feel like you adapt to each one of us rather than us adapting to you. That's just how your program's been set up. And I think for any of us who are part of this program right now, I think we're very, very thankful for that. Like you make it so much easier than it's been and I'm pretty sure others will have to say this too.
Oh,
Um,
amazing
just
to hear.
I've had 3 other trainers prior to you, and it's always because of my back that I always wanted to work with someone just so I always know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
But this has by far been my best experience.
that's amazing to hear. And you've been amazing to coach, because you're so coachable, and you receive feedback so well, because along the journey we have to say things that, like, you might not be what you're wanting to hear at that point, but you need to hear that. So you receive feedback so well, and you implement things so well, like, so quickly on the spot there. You make the changes, you ask for help, you ask for guidance whenever you're feeling
Yeah.
lost. So that's a mutual relationship where you are putting in the work into following what's there, but you're also like, it's a two-way communication. There's no other way to make it work. So there's that as well. If you weren't the type of person that you are, you wouldn't be having the success that you're having. So
Appreciate that.
great job on that. And just lastly, just for us to wrap up, see, we're just 30 minutes on the spot. What would you say if somebody is on the fence? So they're watching the live, they're watching the videos, they're following me on Instagram, they're seeing all the things, and they're like, I want it, but I don't know. What would you say to that person?
I think the biggest thing let me see how I can word this. I would say jump right in, to to be very honest. It's a lot of people are scared to commit just because commitment takes time. And we're all lacking time. But this is the one program that I can really say being having a huge family, having a crazy social life, having a husband, having a child, and having both families that live in the area and attending to all these things, I have been able to commit. I have been able to do this. And you know what? And it's in no way, where you're required to be perfect. You are required to give it your 100%, but your version of 100%. So it is much easier to be able to jump right in doing this and being like, okay, I got this. Hey, if you can work out 4 days a week, Andrea will accommodate to that. If you can do it just 3 times a week, she will accommodate to that. Okay, 2 times. Well, then she's going to have other things that she'll make you do to make up for the days that you can't work out. Whether it's steps, whether it's nutrition, one way or another, that commitment that you make will be your version of 100%. So for me, like if you're on the fence, just do it, and you will you're going to start seeing results right away. The first week alone for me, without working out, without being able to move, the weight scale showed drop, and I was like, I haven't seen this in years. Like, this has not happened to me in years. And in 1 week, this has happened. What just happened?
Yeah, I remember.
So in the first week alone, give yourself just that 1 week and you're going to be like, whoa, this is one of the best decisions that I've made. And yeah, I mean, time is always going to be, time is of the essence. Like, time is always running out. It feels like there's not enough hours in the day. But you'll find a way to make it time, just because the journey is so fun, and just the way things are set up. So I would say just jump right in and do it. You'll be able to do it. Anyone who's on this live session, I am telling you, will be able to do it.
Oh, that's amazing. I did not pay her to say that, so disclaimer.
No, she's just shedding my pounds off. That's all it is. That's what I'm getting.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Amna. It was so much fun chatting with you. I know that you have a busy day ahead as well, so thank you so much again for jumping right in. And if you guys are watching this and you have any questions about our coaching program, just like Amna said, jump right in. Send me a message. I don't bite. I'd love to chat with you and see where you're at, and see if you'd be a good fit for the program as well. And see you next time. Thanks, Amna, again.
Thank you all.
Bye.